What'd you say to me? What is she saying?
I didn't catch it.
What is she saying?
She is saying thank you.
Hey, yo, In Madness family, welcome back to Vertebrae's Not Delight to episode 167.
Oh, boy.
67. All right, now to his delight, we are doing a Vertebrae movie on this episode 167 In Madness Pod. Shawn the Butcher, Vertebrae33. I'm underwater. I'm still underwater from our Cthulhu episode, and things are about to get real romantic. So dim the lights.
Yeah, with this
167.
Would this be our first? Listen, it's a fairy tale.
Yeah.
It's a fairy tale, but would this be our biggest dive into the romantic section?
Oh, yeah. This is everything I skipped in Batman.
The entire film. Well, sorry about that, Shawn. But
I can't remember if I saw this movie before. I know and knew of it and parts of it. I don't know if I saw it in full until this. Does have a classic villain. That dude is a great villain. We'll get into it. Zod. Neil before Zod. But yeah, I didn't hate the movie.
Wow!
As much as
what a glowing review.
My text messages, and you texted me about it. You're like, "Oh, geez, don't be so stoked about it." I was like, "No, let's do it. Let's do a romance movie."
Well, I think you were more worried about the fact that I might just have 7 million things to talk about. And to be honest, it's a little front loaded, but like as we go, it's just kind of a movie that flows along. You know, I don't think there are little things here and there, but there's some pervading themes that we'll get into. But I didn't get into every little nook and cranny on it.
This was one of the first movies you brought up when we said we're going to start a podcast. And I was like, oh, we'll see when we get to it. And it took 167 episodes. But I know this is your Mortal Kombat, your Ninja Turtles.
Not really.
Like, I mean, you love this movie. You wanted to cover it several times on the podcast.
I really like this movie.
So
I do love a lot of it, but I don't know if I would put it as my Mortal Kombat. That's for people listening for the first time. They're really confused. Shawn, we get a lot of new listeners. Essentially, Mortal Kombat's like a film that Shawn puts on like a super high plateau. I don't like to categorize things. I don't like to put things.
I'll say it for you. You put Shape of Water on a high plateau.
I do, but I don't know if it's in my top 20 favorite films of all time.
I understand that.
Right?
I don't think Underwater
Mortal
is
Kombat, I think, might be for you.
I mean, 20. Underwater might be too. I have a lot of Turtles. Top 20. My top 20 consists of probably 200 movies.
I think that's the problem. I think your favorites in your top 20 are just endless. So there's no actual numerical value attached to any of these.
Matter.
You just really like it. There's parts of this movie and the general sense of this movie that I love a lot. But I love a lot of the movies we do, Shawn. There's been very few movies that and there's some I've even grown an affinity for after discussing it with you more so. So we'll see what happens at the end of this. You might get a Shape of Water tattoo.
We're returning to a director we have covered before on another movie that you loved and I think you picked. It's Hellboy, right?
Yeah. So we starting, or are you going to do your intro first?
So welcome to the premiere podcast. Oh, we're going to front load the end of this, the beginning of this episode as well. The premiere podcast, In Madness Pod, on the socials, which you're going to be needing to vote immediately at In Madness Pod. Hit us up. We have some mails in the mail sack. I think next week we are going to dive headfirst into the mail sack, read a couple of emails, talk some smack. In Madness Pod at gmail.com. Vertebrae's got the new In Madness shirt on, the Lighthouse Tarot card that he created. The shirt is sick. Make sure you pick it up at inmadness.com. You can see him wearing the shirt on our YouTube page. No matter how you're listening, watching, bootlegging, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, give us the 5-star reviews on everything. Check out the In Madness Spotify playlist. because it is just hours and hours of endless fun. We're definitely adding some music to it after this episode. Happy and Mad is Monday. New episode every week. Sometimes we talk movies. Sometimes we just talk some shit. That's Happy and Madness Monday. Spread the madness. Tell everybody you know about the show. Get a shirt, old shirt, new shirt, whatever shirt you want. Get a mug in madness.com. Do you have the vinyl for this movie, and what mug do you have?
I do, Shawn. I have for this movie. Hold on, everybody.
He's collecting it. He's getting the vinyl, which we will.
So I've got Shape of Water on Blu-ray, right?
Bada bing.
I've got the Creating a Fairy Tale for Troubled Times making of book with this fantastic cover. This is a really, really good book.
Bada boom. But he says he doesn't put this on the pedestal. What else do you have?
And I've got the soundtrack.
Yeah, there he goes. And the vinyl. Yeah. He doesn't put it on the pedestal, though.
It's a trifecta. Yeah. But I've got that for a lot of other movies.
I know how much you love this movie.
This pedestal for me, pedestal, how do you say it? Pedestal is big, Shawn. It's not like when you say that, I don't want it to seem like it's one film. It's dozens and dozens of films.
Well, speaking of films, before we get into Vertebrae's not favorite movie of all time, our next movie that we're doing.
Oh, wait, my mug, Shawn.
What mug?
So it's hard for you to see on here. It looks white, but it has little, like, there's a turtle. I don't know if you can see the turtle, and there's a little seahorse.
Very faintly. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like a crackly finish. This is a nice theming, Shawn. We're theming. So anyway, there you go.
We are going to do a voting poll for our next movie. Tell them the topic. What's the voting poll topic, Vertebrae?
We are going to do your favorite Carpenters ever. So I think the choices are Karen Carpenter, John Carpenter, or Jesus Christ.
Oh, he's a carpenter. That's very good. I don't know if you had that written before the show.
I did not. I just made that up off the top of my head. We are doing a John Carpenter poll.
John Carpenter voting poll. The voting poll, which you can vote on right now as you are listening to this goddamn episode, unless I didn't, wake up to post it yet. So just wait a couple of hours and then it'll be up there on all of the social media platforms. The 3 movies that you can vote for: In the Mouth of Madness, Assault on Precinct 13, which you said is his first movie, I think.
Yes.
I've never seen it ever.
Okay.
And The Fog.
Oh, there we go. I did a lighthouse sound, but anyway.
You thought we were going to throw the thing on the list. We are not letting you vote on it yet because we know it will win. We will get to the thing eventually. You can vote on In the Mouth of Madness, The Fog, Assault on Precinct 13. Our next movie, we will cover a John Carpenter movie that you vote on our socials at In Madness Pod. But for now, dim the lights and light some candles and spread around some rose petals because it's about to get smooth on In Madness Pod.
Yeah, rose petals and hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah.
Very romantic.
I have a couple of questions.
Very romantic. First of all, we're doing The Shape of Water by Guillermo del Toro. Comes out in 2017, directed and produced by Guillermo. Co-wrote screenplay with Vanessa Taylor. Budget of $19.5 million. Shawn, makes $195 million.
Yes, I'd say.
Yeah, in this current situation we're in we're seeing some lower budget horror movies come out and make a tremendous amount of money. This comes out and is a hit. You mentioned the vinyl, the score by our buddy Alexander Desplat. We've talked about it in the past. This is a phenomenal score. Love this score. I've listened to this score more than I've watched the film. And that's what I meant when I said to you there are aspects of this movie that I love a lot that can be pulled aside from the movie itself. The creature, the set design, all those types of things, and the score. I am not keen on romance that much. I'm not keen on singing in my movies. I really don't like any kind of singing in my movies.
Me too, but I like that it was just like an eyedropper, a little blip. Right. I can deal with a little eyedropper.
But Shape of Water receives 13 nominations at the 90th Academy Awards. Most of any film in 2018, Shawn. It wins Best Production Design.
Boom.
Easily. Best Original Score.
Boom.
Easily. Best Director.
Bong bong.
Best Picture.
Bada bing.
Amazing. Puts Guillermo on the map, puts him through a guy. He's one of us. He buys toys. He collects things. He reads comics.
I just saw a picture of him holding the original oxygen destroyer from 1954 Godzilla, and he's like, his face is stoked, only because we've been texting about him and talking about him. Now he pops up on my feed. Yeah,
of course. He is one of us, Shawn, and I said it on the other episode. I got to meet him for a few minutes once at New York Comic Con, and it was a really awesome interaction. Listen, a dream would be to have him come on this podcast. He would probably love to come on and talk about everything except his own movies. I feel like he would want to come on and talk about everyone else's movies. So, this is the pitch, man. We've done 2 of your movies already. I'm a big fan. You could just come on and talk about your Bleak House, this house that he has that is just full of collectibles. He has a whole house just for collectibles. And they're not collectibles like, hey, I got the new Thing figure from NECA. They're like
one.
Yeah, I got this creature that was for this movie, that was in this movie, or this or that, or this original volume of this book signed by so and so. I'd like to think he still has my Cthulhu t-shirt in there somewhere. It was not in the book. I remember thinking when that book came out, could you imagine if there was just a page of rando t-shirts and it was hanging there? But alas, that was not to be. He does a lot of cool things with this. He has James Jean do a special poster for it commemorating the film. And usually, you get the photo or the photo montages for it. And he has some, like he's done in the past with the Hellboy movies. He gets an artist to do it. He's a big fan of art, buys a ton of art. Obviously, he had at one point had a close personal relationship with Mignola. But, Shawn, he says he's rewriting his childhood disappointment because he loves, and this movie heavily influenced by the creature from the Black Lagoon, which I think someday we'll get to. I think we probably got to do a run of these Universal horror movies at one point. But he sees it as a child, and he's bummed out and heartbroken when the creature and the woman didn't end up together. So he he rectifies that situation in this film tenfold. So it has a very creature from Black Lagoon look. It also has a lot of like Abe Sapien from the Hellboy books, and it's the same actor who's playing him, right? So you kind of, Doug Jones is there, and it feels like that. They call him in the credits the Amphibian Man. I refer to him as a creature at different points. I believe the subtitles change what they call. I think they refer to as creature at certain points as well in the subtitles.
Fishman.
Fantastic.
I call him Fishman.
Oh, you call him Fishman. Or Fishman or Fishman?
So it's a combination of both. It's Fishman, but I pronounce it Fishman like it's the last name.
Yeah, okay. Fishman it is. And Eliza, played by Sally Hawkins, she does an absolutely incredible job. Michael Shannon as Strickland is just beyond evil. I think you could put him in the In Madness
Villain Hall of Fame,
right? Richard Jenkins as Giles, who, when you start to realize, is just the dude who was the dad in Step Brothers, it starts throwing.
And also our buddy from Cabin in the Woods, which we've covered on In Madness.
Yes,
Pod.
Absolutely. And Doug Jones is the Amphibian Man, and Hofstetter or Dimitri is Michael Stahlberg, who does a great job, and Octavia Spencer really shines as Zelda in this form in this film. She does a great job, and we get a lot about her deadbeat husband throughout it as she's chatting away. Shawn, if we had to be if you had to be Zelda or Eliza, and we worked together at this insane job, which one would you be and which one would I be? You thought I was going to say Eliza the Fishman? I don't want to know that.
No, I'd probably be Zelda. You'd be Eliza, because you probably wouldn't talk to anybody.
Shawn would just be telling me stories about when he hung out after work, and I was supposed to be there.
Smoke breaks, constant smoke breaks.
Takes place 1962, so he wants to set this in a backdrop of the Cold War, which obviously has a lot to do with this, and sort of society and discrimination. And that's a big message in this film, right? Not fitting in somewhere. This is where it connects with people. This is where we get that kind of modern fairy tale thing, and they call it fairy tale for troubled times. So tons of visual cues throughout this, Shawn. A lot of green, a lot of green, a lot of blue, but a lot of green. And then some red starts to get introduced to our main character as she starts to fall in love, which is interesting. But these sets and what they filmed, they're just so rich. They're just so beautiful. You want to they look lived in. They look right. They're built. They look like what's going on in here. What are these little things on the shelves or in the background? So it does a great job with that. Sometimes I try to think, why is Shawn not 100% sold on Guillermo del Toro movies? There's a piece that's missing for you when we talk about these movies. And I was thinking this time, I wonder, I know as beautiful as it is, I wonder if it's not grounded enough, because it all exists in a rather kind of absurd world.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you can't get your footing in something you can relate to, and it's not crazy enough to push you way over the edge in one way, and it sort of rides in that weird middle
area. Yeah. But again, there's aspects of Hellboy that I was into. Even I had the same reaction when you're like Hellboy. I was like, okay. So yeah, I gear up like, again, I think we'd be friends, but again, I love metal, and I have friends who love metal. We love metal. We are metalheads, but I'll be goddamned if I listen to any of the metal that they listen to.
That would be me.
Yeah, exactly. So like with Guillermo, I feel like we'd be bros hanging out, hugging, eating s'mores, but he'd be like, what did you think of this movie? And I'd be like, oh, shite. I'm like, come on. We just sit there and argue about shit all day. But love it.
I think what he does is he does create fairy tales, and he has an aesthetic to what he does. And if you're into that aesthetic and you're into those fairy tales, then you're along for the ride. You're not the only person I know that's like, oh, I kind of like his movies. I'm not blown away, but everyone appreciates the craftsmanship, the ideas, the art, the score. Like he embodies all of this. But the other theme, Shawn, you want to get into is eggs. There's eggs everywhere. She's feeding eggs to him a whole bit. Obviously a metaphor for birth and life, and also just like they're developing this relationship together. It's like breaking bread.
A deviled egg. That's like my jam. That's my top 10.
But none of these were deviled eggs. They were just
but it's kind of like a hard-boiled egg. Yeah.
It's just a hard-boiled egg. I don't think that's as much fun as whipping up
with the mayo and the little bit of mustard. Yeah,
there's no paprika on these eggs. They're just out of like a paper bag. Not the best, but certainly setting this in 62, but feeling like it can relate to now as well is very interesting. And it's a longer movie, but
it's great when your main character doesn't say a damn thing, but she kind of does.
For your podcast review,
it made reviewing this movie. I was able to sit and watch it flow without really having to stop, which I do constantly when I'm doing movies for this.
Right. And I found myself doing that.
Yeah, I ran and I let it go, and I kept notes as I went, which is the notes that I have here. And
it's definitely, listen, we watch these films with subtitles on now, not just because we're old, but just because we're also trying to pick up stuff, on the podcast. And it was a treat to let it go for a while and not have to key into that and just sort of soak in what's happening and not have even words on the screen, just letting it kind of go for moments at a time.
Because of that, I have nicknames for basically every character in this movie, because I was like, I am not looking up these 15 characters.
But it's not many. I just gave them to you. It's like 5.
Yes, but I give them quick, easy names that we
That's
can
my favorite
through.
part usually.
Yeah.
So Listen, I think we've talked enough in the beginning. Anyone who tunes in now, when too much, remember that guy, the review? Too much shite in the beginning is what he said on one of the episodes. I hope that guy's still listening. I hope he's going to buy a new t-shirt. Listen, Shawn, before we go to the movie, this t-shirt, beyond comfortable. I'm not going to personally comment on the design because I illustrated it. I think that's a little lame. But the shirt itself, if you want to support this podcast, we don't make any money from this. $0 we make from this podcast.
Actually, negative dollars, I think.
Negative dollars every month.
We're in the negative dollars.
But if you buy a shirt, in a month, you help us get, maybe get it into the, what is it? We're in the red. We're in the red.
And in the negative, I think it's nuclear. I think the core has melted down at this point.
Yeah. But you want to support us until we figure out what our idiotic brains are going to do about some sort of Patreon, and then we have to come on every week and beg you for money. You get a t-shirt out of it. Buy a t-shirt. It's a cool shirt. Support the podcast. It doesn't even say podcast on it, Shawn. Just says In Madness. That's it. So you could just enjoy it, and you don't have to even explain it to somebody. They could just be like, yeah, this is In Madness.
But please explain it to everybody you walk past, and just as you walk down the street, just point at your shirt. And
podcast. I listen to a podcast, everybody. Look at me. This is a podcast I listen to right here, In Madness. All right, let's go, Shawn. You ready?
We start with this whimsical music. We're underwater. We're still in our underwater theme. Welcome to our underwater episodes. We're stuff floating around everywhere. We got a narrator thinking about what he could tell you about the time of the place, or the princess without a voice. We see this woman floating in the water. This is a tale of love and loss and the monster who tried to destroy it. And I'm like, all right. This is going to be 2 hours of Vicky Vale. This is just what's going through my mind as these things are happening. It wasn't.
That's should be the tagline for this podcast. Story of love and loss and the monster who tried to destroy it. And we just figure out which one of us is the monster who tried to destroy it.
Yeah. We're transported back. Now the room is dry and empty. A woman wakes up in the room below her. There's a movie theater, which is pretty cool, living above a movie theater. I mean, I hope it's way far above to where I can't hear anybody, but I think it'd be pretty dope to live above them, as long as not like a bowling alley.
Yeah, and we see later on that's the story of Ruth is playing at the theater, 1960 biblical epic. So obviously very intentional setting and sort of themes from that movie kind of reflect in this movie a little bit. So pretty cool.
This lady has scratches on her neck. She's naked in the tub. She rubs one out. She gets ready, heads out the door. We got our neighbor, the dude from Cabin in the Woods, the father from Step Brothers. She's helping him out. They're great friends. She doesn't speak. She's mute. Her name is Eliza. I get her name because she is our main character in this movie.
There you go. Look at that, Shawn.
She gets on the bus with this dude who's got a whole ass just cake out in the open, just a big ass cake he's eating. I was like, okay.
Yeah. So back up for a second. So we get a few things in there where, we have that movie. Her windows, Shawn, are green. They kind of look like it's almost algae on glass, which is kind of cool. Like almost that she's already underwater. Then he mentions a fire at a chocolate factory. So we're getting this scene setting from Guillermo, which is very, very cool. He's an illustrator, Shawn. He's doing what I thought was the dream job when I was a kid. Now, in this time, he's doing it for advertising, which is probably very difficult. And we're going to find out later that he's going to need to make changes. And he's clearly on the outs with this place. And photography is taking over, much like AI is infiltrating us right now. But, the dream for a lot of artists to be sitting in your house getting paid to paint things. He's got TV on that he likes. He's got a bunch of cats. He's got a pretty cool place. He's hanging out and he's made friends with Eliza, which is very cool. We see her when she's leaving. Look at these red shoes in the window, Shawn. And I put in my notes, longing for love, right? Because everything's green, everything's blue, but we see the red shoes. We also maybe get a little bit of, Wizard of Oz type deal with it right there as well. And then lastly, this dude with the cake. We'll get you to this dude with the cake. So there's a guy, Guillermo, I'll read what he wrote. He said, this guy threw a party nobody went to. And now he's going home with one slice of cake cut out of it. He ate it, and he's bringing all the balloons home too. He was trying to show that Eliza's not lonely. She's very happy. The other guy is lonely. So she lives by herself, but she's got friends at work. She's got friends at home. She's got a life. She's got a routine, clearly a routine. Get up at a certain time, do what you got to do. This poor fella on the bench with the cake, none of that.
Poor bastard. I feel terrible for him. She works at the Ocean Aerospace Center. Her and Zelda clean the facility. They're like janitors.
Mm-hmm.
We got who I thought was the other dude from Cabin in the Woods, his partner, but it ends up just being some dude who kind of looks like the guy. I was like, is this a Cabin in the Woods alternate universe? But this dude is one of the guys in charge here. He's in charge of the most sensitive asset ever held in this facility, and they wheel it in.
And Shawn, before I cut you off, just want to say two things. One, when they arrive at this Ocean Aerospace Research Center, it looks a little bit like the BPRD building in Hellboy where they arrive. It's interesting. I would have to see them next to each other, but it looks very, very similar. And then, when they arrive, there's this whole time clock punching thing where Eliza's clearly late, even though she's so routinized. She's late every day. Her routine probably needs to be shifted back by about 15 minutes. And her friend punches at the time card. And I was thinking back to days where you had to punch a time card. Do you remember this, Shawn?
When I got my first full-time gig, like salary gig, I had no idea how it worked. So I went into work my first day and I was like, where do I punch? And they're like, you don't punch in. And I was like, oh, this whole world opened up. And I was like, oh, I could just come and go as I please.
Yeah,
what?
Crazy. You promptly just left. No, but I remember, many years, forever ago, a lifetime ago, I was a FedEx truck driver in Manhattan, Shawn, and did that in the garment district for a number of years. And we had to punch a time card. And the last guy who, let's say if we started, because you got to start early for that job, let's say it was 6:20. It was usually like 6:20, 6:30 type thing. It was kind of known, like if you were punching it at 6:29, to just grab a whole shit ton of cards and start punching and punching and punching on them, especially people you liked. And then they caught on and then sent a memo. And then somebody was assigned to watch the clock to accuse people of being, 2.5 minutes late for work. And just like you, when I finally got a job that was more like an office type job, I was like, wait, what? There's nobody standing, like I'm 45 seconds late. And everybody's like, oh, okay, cool. And the last thing I'll say, Shawn, is cleaning and dusting around the facilities. Man, this movie's got it all. When we do these types of movies, I'm always like, what about the regular people that work there? Right? What about the normal folks? Somebody has to clean this place. Somebody's got to work in the cafeteria, right? Like the Death Star. And here we are. And this is a story from their perspective, which is,
they're essentially cleaning the Death Star. Yeah. We meet Zod, our big bad from Superman. Really great, evil-looking, villainous. Strickland, you said his name is.
His name's Strickland. Yeah.
I'm never going to forget that because of Strickland Propane. That's where Hank Hill works. Propane and propane accessories. He looks evil. He's got this thing encased in this capsule filled with liquid. Eliza is curious. This big fish thing, like the fishman from Hellboy, starts smashing on the glass. Is this the same universe, same dude? I know it's the same director. It makes me just think that it's the same guy.
I think you just like the look that it had. It was very similar.
It's very similar.
Abe Sapien's a character from Hellboy. It already looked like that before he created it. So I think he just, and he got the same guy playing him. But yeah, no same universe in this.
Eliza's out with her neighbor. They're getting pie. This dude loves pie. He also loves the kid working behind the register.
Does he love pie, or he has a refrigerator?
So pie looks like green Jello when he opens his fridge, and he's got a fridge full. Every single shelf has this pie on it. It just looks kind of gross.
Key lime pie. Do you not like key lime pie?
Nah, are you kidding me?
No,
I want chocolate or vanilla in my pie. I don't want green Jello.
Mrs. Vertebrae does not. I'm giving away a secret for her. She does not like her desserts like fruit-filled desserts.
Yeah, so
She's
does
like,
my man Travis.
Like
He doesn't like
chocolate or
fruit
like vanilla,
desserts. Yeah.
right? They shouldn't be like, she's not gonna have a slice of apple pie. Give her like a chocolate mousse pie or something else like that. But key lime pie is really good, Shawn. We're gonna you and I are gonna get
Gross.
together over the summer. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna bake some key lime pie.
You say this, boy. I have a week off coming up, and one of my plans is just dropping randomly by your house. So you better be around when I drop by. So don't worry, we got that. And you're also on my date plans to go see a movie, me, you, and Basil. And it's only your fault because it's a movie you brought up on this podcast. So I put it in my notes to take you out to the movies, and me, you, and Basil are gonna.
Here's the thing: if you drop by and I don't know you're coming, I might not open the door.
Everybody gets shot in the stomach.
I might not open the door.
Eliza and the neighbor, they're tap dancing along to the music on TV. They have this cute relationship together. It's very adorable.
Yeah, and he's got the gift of gab, right? And I don't know if it's just he's filling the air because she's not really talking, but they are communicating the whole time. And the job as an artist, is particularly an illustrator, is especially at that time, is you're just home all day by yourself. So I think they've got this really cool relationship. I love that they're both like always dressed very nice, very like 1962. Like they're like he's got a job where he could just be at home in sweats and
like
a dirty t-shirt. Yeah, and it doesn't matter, but he still kind of carries himself in that way. And I think he's from a time gone by where he's hoping that people will respect his art and who he is, and really the wheels have already started rolling for people to not care about that.
Every day Eliza's got her routine. Wakes up, rubs one out, go to work, go to sleep, rinse, repeat over and over again. All the colors in this movie remind me of Suspiria, so thank you, Spieg.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's green. The bathroom tile, the toilets, the ladies' uniforms, the soap. Everything's got this different, like slightly different shade of green tint to it, and it's super.
You got green behind you right now.
I love green. Like slime green is one of my favorite colors. I love slime green.
It's funny, Shawn. They're cleaning this bathroom, and they get into this big discussion about peeing all over the place.
Well, we got our big bad evil Zod dude walks in with his cattle prod.
Yeah.
He has himself a little piss. Doesn't wash his hands after he pisses, but before. Pops a candy in his mouth. It's gross.
Yeah, he says that he don't need to, right? He has a whole line about this.
He
questions people that do it like both times. Pretty insane. They're in there. He could care less that they're still there. I was cracking up because, man, most men's room at companies and stuff like that, there is just pee-pee like all over the place,
everywhere.
Like I don't understand,
especially at like the first urinal, because everybody goes to the first urinal. There's always a puddle of piss under it.
Yeah, I don't understand at all. But he's got those candies he likes, and he's one uncomfortable dude.
It's very Norman Batesy with the candy.
Yes.
Eliza sees blood remnants left on the sink from this dude's cattle prod. Her and Zelda continue cleaning. Gunshots go off. Our big bad walks into the hall, drops to his knees, bleeding, and the alarms go off.
Yeah, it just collapses right in the hallway, and we think this is it for this dude. Not even the
beginning. Eliza and Zelda got to clean this bloody mess where the havoc just ensued. Eliza finds fingers on the floor and puts them in a little brown paper bag. Eliza meets Fishman. Looks exactly like the dude from Hellboy. He is drawn to Eliza.
Shawn, they have these when they go to get their lunches. They like have this thing that they like heat up. It's almost like a wall of like things that look like microwaves, or there's some sort of like toaster oven. I didn't look that up. I didn't know what they were, if that was real or a gamma. It's very interesting. Little like dials, and like I'm fascinated by the day-to-day life at this ocean. What's their 401k plan like? What are their actual work hours? It was dark, right? It was dark when she went. So presumably they got to work shift early.
Yeah.
Shawn, the other thing that really, really bothers me about this film, all of this cleaning of blood and pee-pee and all this other stuff, neither of them are ever wearing any gloves throughout the entire film. And there's a lot of eating going on and giving of eggs and all this other stuff with this nasty sea water that this guy's in. Like, so gross.
She's telling her neighbor about Fishman. He tells her he saw a mermaid once, but it was actually a monkey dressed up as one. Him and her are very close. They have this great relationship. They watch old TV shows. He is an artist, but the studio does not like his artwork. Apparently, he was let go from the studio and he's sort of freelancing for them now.
Yeah, I think it's maybe like an ad. I think it's like an ad agency is what I'm thinking, right? Because they're selling the Jello or whatever that he has to repaint.
Eliza visits Fishman. They got him tethered, swimming around in this fish tank. She feeds him eggs, which is like, didn't Fishman in Hellboy eat eggs also?
Yeah.
Crazy. They already seem in love till Fish Dude gets frightened and lets out this scream. Makes Eliza handle the situation with a little more care. He takes one of the eggs and he swims off.
Yeah, and back up for a second. When he's at the place and he's showing them his artwork and they have changes to it, there's the Jello. What color was the Jello?
Was it green?
It was red.
Oh, okay.
And they wanted them to make it
green. Yeah.
Right. So that's a nice little thing about green being sort of the everyday and sometimes a little oppressive color in this environment. And he's trying to introduce red and love. And he's also in love with somebody who doesn't know it yet. And he tries to do that. And then the system and the people just kind of push him back down.
They say
and
put it through AI and make it green.
You've got to make it green. So real quick, I had to tell you this funny story. So there was a famous, so like as an illustrator, Shawn, you got to change this stuff, right? On the fly and paint over it. There's no Photoshop. There's no anything. So a lot of the old stuff that I did, one of my first original band shirt that I ever did was for the band God Forbid. And it was painted on paper. And then scanned in and put on a shirt or whatever. But anyway, there's a fantasy artist that tells this story about how all the editors need to make comments when they look at this art. And so you're painting these Magic the Gathering cards, these fantasy book covers, these big things. You put this million hours into it, and then they would have to like bring it in, and people would like critique it, right? Oh, we should change this, we should change that. So he said he always used to put an obvious mistake in all of the paintings, and then everybody would get super excited to find it. So it'd be like, maybe make this woman's arms look like hairy or like something a little too big, and it's he knows it's an easy fix for him, and he's like, then they would all fixate on that and be excited, like almost like make fun of him, like why would you make it look like that? And they'd all chime in and say the same thing, and he'd fix his simple mistake and be able to move on. So it's pretty funny.
Now our big bad wants to interview Eliza and Zelda. Eliza found Big Bad's finger. She gives him his ring back. He asks about Eliza's past, the scars on her neck. He tells them, clean the bloody room and stay the hell out of there. The thing in there is an abomination, not created in the Lord's image. And he gets a call from his big boss and does some brown nosing.
Yeah, it's crazy. They had 20 minutes to clean up this blood area too before like the generals come in. That was it, Shawn. All of that blood and 20 minutes to
It's also a crime scene.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. And I have in my notes all of this cleaning with no blood.
He gets dropped off at home from some crony. Big Bad is a dad. He has a wife, 2 kids. He seems annoyed by all of them. He loves America. His wife wants to get it on. She tells him to wash his hands so they can bang. He keeps his wife silent while they bang. Because he's actually thinking about banging Eliza.
Yeah, he just met her. He's got these disgusting fingers that they reattached. Gross.
Now here's Eliza flirting with Fishman, bringing him eggs. She brings him a record player, starts playing her favorite ambient black metal band.
That's right. Then maybe she's playing a little Alhava. Maybe
or the music she's playing, it sounds a lot like music that's in the background of The Shining. Fishman begins grunting, communicating with her. She's teaching him sign language, showing him music. They're enjoying eggs together. Now her daytime routine is no longer the same. Now she has Fishman in her life. Everything is beautiful because she is in love.
Right. She got to boil more eggs now, though.
One of Big Bad's crony scientists spots this love fest between Eliza and Fishman. The scientist is working with the Russians, I think, to steal Fishman from our Big Bad. And he tells his boss the fish can communicate and listens to music. That's what I think is going on here. There's a lot of things going on in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. And Shawn, if you back up a little bit, our buddy Giles tells a story about cornflakes being invented, right? And I looked that up, and that it is true. They were created as a bland, healthy food meant to deter sinful urges. And it was an accident where they left out wheat dough, and it led to this crispy cornflakes. But that was what their original intention was, to try to create food to curb people's sinful urges. And then when we look at Fishman, your buddy Fishman, now I'm going to call him that because you've branded him such. It took 90 people were involved in the creating of this suit and these effects. And what a fantastic suit this is. The practical effect that he has. And we'll see him light up later in the movie and everything. But very, very cool. But yes, we find out that we are rolling in 1962 into this as we're getting a Russian spy. Presumably he's there for maybe he was sent in specifically for this guy. That's what I think, but I'm sure they were trying to infiltrate this place left and right, because this is not the only thing they got going on. The only thing I'll say about this movie, Shawn, is I wish, and I guess Gilmore wanted to keep it tight, but I wish they would have alluded to what else they have going on in this research center. Like maybe things. There's some kind of like deep sea creature that they found, or something different, or
a boy from hell.
Oh, yeah. Maybe this is just the Oceanic Research Division of the BPRD, right?
It's the offset, the side building.
Yep.
The summer home. Back at work, Eliza and Zelda are having a smoke break. Eliza's watching the cameras pointed directly at them. She runs into Fishman's room. He's chained up, covered in blood. She sees Big Bad's cattle prod, and here he comes, pissed off. Eliza runs off and hides. Big Bad starts prodding the shit out of Fishman, torturing this bastard.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they want to make sure we are going to hate Strickland.
We do.
Yeah.
In walks his boss, General Hoyt, appalled by Fishman. Big Bad says natives used to worship it like a god. So let's torture it.
Yeah, it came from a river in South America, and I think the natives had the right idea. Treat it like a god. Don't bother it. And I don't think he wants to bother with you.
Scientist dude who's working with the Russians, he's trying to get Fishman out of this place. He's not pleased with the state that Fishman is in. He's chained up, bloodied, and tortured. Big Bad and Hoyt are entertained by all of this hell.
Mm-hmm.
Scientist sees Eliza hiding, but he doesn't rat her out. Big Bad wants Fishman dissected. Scientist doesn't want Fishman touched, begs General Hoyt to leave this creature alone. Hoyt doesn't give a good goddamn. He'll dissect whatever creature his dumb ass wants.
Yeah, and so Hofstetler, who's his name in this, and then we later find out his real name is Dimitri, is torn, Shawn, because he's a scientist, right? And he knows what's good for the world, but he's got to do his duty for the Russians. And he's got to also, hang out here with the Americans, try to figure out and fight for what he thinks is right. And I think at heart, he's a softie, obviously, and he's helping. He wants what's the best for the creature, but that's not obviously going to bode well with his American employer or his actual employer of Russia.
Eliza's heartbroken for her poor friend. She sees the scientist being told by stupid Hoyt and Big Bad, this is the end of the line for the creature, time for extermination and dissection.
Typical in all these movies and in anything we get human, Shawn. The first thing they want to do is destroy it and rip it apart, and don't want to observe and enjoy anything and learn. And maybe there is a connection with this creature and we could learn from it, rather than just being like, hey, I'm going to prod it for a while and it's not giving me anything I need.
Eliza's begging her neighbor for help. He refuses to break the law. She's telling him how smart Fishman is and how important he is and how they have this thing going on together. She's looking for love. So is her neighbor. She begs him to break out Fishman or he will die. He seems to understand her plight, but still refuses. She begs. He says, there's nothing they can do. He's not even human. And she says, if we don't help, neither are we. Oh, shit.
And so we got a love story, Shawn, but I think we also got a little bit of a hero's journey going on with Giles. Because
yeah.
he's in denial to take this trip, and then events take place that push him in that direction, and then he starts to do things he would never do, and he gets excited by this, and he's willing to sacrifice for something. So, Giles is on that journey, and I believe, there's a lot of theories about Eliza and who she is in this film, and we can get to it when we get to the end. But I think she doesn't need pushing, or she doesn't need any of that, because she's already fallen in love and she's naturally drawn to the creature, to your buddy Fishman. So
our neighbor returns to get his art assessed by the company, but they could care less. Now he's sad and back at the pie spot flirting with the register dude. He's hitting on him, but he gets rejected.
Yeah, and not only that, but it's a very uncomfortable scene where the guy who works there, at the counter, is clearly, on a lot of levels, a really, really bad human being. And this is the impetus. These two things together are what push Giles in the direction to, mind you, this green diner, right? Sean, there's green everywhere in this diner. But this is what pushes him out onto, he's like, you know what, screw it. What is life if, you know what I mean? Like, I got nothing going on.
An African-American couple walks in for service, and the dickhead register dude kicks them out of the spot. Neighbor dude, disgusted, he wipes the pie off his tongue on a napkin and leaves the napkin and walks out and returns to Eliza, says he's going to help her. They have this long hug. It's very adorable.
Mm-hmm.
Scientist's plan to break out Fishman is failing. He can't get proper approval. He gets a cool device to cause a blackout. The Russians, however, also want the scientists to also kill Fishman. Scientist wants to learn from it. The Russians don't care about him learning. They want the Americans not to learn from this thing.
That's it. Nobody cares about actual humans. It's just you. If you can't, then we'll kill him, or we'll kill him first. Or it's like a competition to see who can ruin the world first.
Then and now, Big Bad's buying himself a car. Nice cars. Big Bad wants a green car. He's wearing green like Eliza, but he ends up getting a teal car.
Yeah, he gets teal, and it's a Cadillac, and it's a beautiful car. Beautiful car. But it's his fingers are going to start to look the same color as that car very soon, if they're not already.
Zelda catches Eliza sneaking around. She gets curious. Eliza and her neighbor are going over their escape plan for Fishman. Their Dillinger escape plan.
Oh, should we add?
We already have some Dillinger on there.
99%.
It's 43% burnt. Damn it!
Oh,
I'm pretty sure we have that on there.
If
you want, I will. It's it's top 10. One of my favorite songs of all time. But the top 10's got like 250 songs in it. But definitely 43%.
I like what's the album with the leaf and the signing, the killer? What is that?
One of Us is the Killer. Prancer. Opener off that is sick. Maybe I'll add Prancer.
Yeah, that's a good album. I used to have a T-shirt, a white T-shirt with that leaf.
Sick.
On the front, but I'm not good with it's so many raw hard-boiled eggs and stuff that I eat, Sean. I got it all over.
It's you have you're gonna fill up that whole room you're in with raw egg farts.
Yeah, for this movie, right? I think if you're listening and following along at home, I think every time you see a room that's really green, you should eat a hard-boiled egg.
Hard-boiled. Big Bad is in love with Eliza, stalking her on the cameras, causing little accidents, tipping over glasses in his office, getting her in there, and then starts aggressively hitting on her. He's the sort of dude you can't wait to get picked off.
Oh, yeah, you're rooting for this.
Scientist pumps up this injection shot he was given by the Russians to kill Fishman. He's loading up the shot. He's got that big-ass frown on his face. Frown emoji, the full frown. Scientist tries to stop the procedure from happening to Fishman. While he's stalling, Eliza is putting her own plan into effect, getting Fishman out. But these two are not working together yet. Scientist notices the security cameras are being putzed around with, but he does not alert anybody to it happening. He and Eliza are working towards a common goal. They just don't know it yet. Scientist busts Eliza, breaking out Fishman, and now he helps her. If they weren't working together before, now they are. Neighbor pulls up in the escape vehicle. He's the getaway car. Scientist dude uses his contraption to trigger this blackout. Zelda begs Eliza not to do what she's about to do.
Yeah, back up a little bit. So we get Giles making fake ID for himself and like crafting it, and he's getting really excited about that. And then he's sort of picking out an outfit for like how I could totally see this being you or me, Sean. Like, well, what would look more commanding when I pull up in this van, like being unsure of ourselves. The problem is he should have gotten some ink that dried quicker because that ends up being a problem for him. So that's the one. We're to assume he's a seasoned illustrator who's been around for a really long time. I'm going to call baloney on that one. I think he would have known. I think he would have known that better, or got something on top of it to keep it, even if your finger is wet, to keep it from running. So
I like when you
maybe
call baloney on things.
that's the first time I've ever said that on this podcast.
Well, I have a stinger for it, Vertebrae.
167. I call baloney on that. Yeah, we go old school.
Big Bad spots what's happening on the monitors, calls security to shut it down. John Taffer, shut it down. They don't pick up, so Big Bad grabs his cattle prod and runs to the loading dock. Security pulls a gun on the neighbor and all the power goes out. Now the scientist and Zelda help Eliza. Scientist injects the security dude with the shot and the neighbor escapes and they break out. Fishman, the neighbor slams right into our Big Bad's brand new stupid ass car. The power comes back on and he sees his shit all tore up. It's so great.
Yeah, I mean, he thinks he's perfect, and then he gets his fingers ruined, and now he gets part of his car ruined. So his fingers are rotting, his car is rotting. The only thing that was weird, Sean, is the scientist guy. Well, because I'm going to call him that, but Dimitri, because now you got me saying the other names. He takes out that MP, and like, it's kind of like that moment kind of makes you realize that he is a Russian and he is kind of on the other side, because that's kind of mean. That guy wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, that injection is going to kill him. Right?
For sure.
Yeah.
He runs to the tank. He sees Fishman is gone, and now Big Bad is pissed. Now Eliza has to take care of this damn thing in her friggin' bathtub.
Mm-hmm.
Big Bad is now in a lot of trouble. General Hoyt knows the shit has hit the proverbial fan.
Yeah, and I mean, she's in love with him, and she's attracted to him, and she's been doing other stuff in that tub. So she just brought him back to her tub of love, I think. Yeah.
That should be a song if it's not already. Fishman and Eliza are in love. Zelda is ready to crack, but the ladies are back at work. Our Big Bad and his crony think special forces did this, 10 men at least, not our one little mute 4-foot-tall janitor lady.
Yeah, I love that they got to go back to work the next day. Giles could stay there because he's, an illustrator and he's got no current work, and that's fine. But like, they got to go and maintain their normal life. One, practicality sense is they have to because they need the money. But two, massive red flag if you're not back at work.
Neighbors chatting with Fishman. They seem to have this cool relationship with each other now. Big Bad is interrogating everybody at the company, trying to find out who knows what about what.
Mm-hmm.
Big Bad is suspicious of the scientist. He's rude to the ladies. Eliza is signing "fuck you" to him. He gets pissed off and doesn't know what she's saying, and Zelda covers for her and says, no. She's saying thank you. Thank you.
Mm. This agency too, Sean, this has a vibe a little bit of like Cabin in the Woods.
It does.
Yeah.
I feel like that's on like the third floor.
Yeah.
Fishman crawls out of the tub and is in love with the neighbor's apartment, books, TV, cat.
Yeah.
Which finally, my friends, brings me to my milking of the alpacas moment.
Milking of the alpacas moment.
Because Fishman goes crazy and eats a cat. Why, Vertebrae?
Cats are tasty.
Because no animal survives in Madness Pod.
He's like Alf, this guy, Fishman, right? Him and Alf are totally one and the same. But yeah, I
went, holy shit, when it happened.
Yeah, this one's jarring, Sean. This comes out of nowhere, and you're like, wait a minute, and like, I'm supposed to like this character. And he just bit the head off this cat. It does
remind you that it's still a goddamn animal.
Yeah, and the cat, Sean, there are 4 of them: Astro, Fox, Emmett, and Sugar. And there are now 3 of them. But yes, again, and I was watching this Mrs. Vertebrae, and she looked at me and she goes, "Well, it's not a dog this time."
Yeah. She knows. She knows this podcast well. Fishman makes a run for it, slashes the neighbor on his way out because he's fucking up cats, he's fucking up humans. Fishman don't care. Eliza comes back to this mess, sees that the neighbor is okay, and we see another cat pop out. So there's a bunch of cats in this house.
Yeah, he's got 4, so hey, he's got backup cats. But yeah, it's crazy.
Backup cats. She runs off to find Fishman. Now he's like King Kong running amok in the city. She finds Fishman at the theater because he's a cultured animal, brings him back to the neighbor's house. Now, Fishman likes the cats. There are even more cats. Fishman touches the neighbor and illuminates and sort of transfers this energy onto him.
Yeah, and before it's funny when he goes to eat the cat, he's watching TV and Mr. Ed was on the TV. And that's interesting that you have this talking horse, this animal that can communicate. And right then we're going to be reminded that this animal that we're watching, this creature we're watching, is not your kind, gentle Mr. Ed. He's one who's going to eat the head off a cat. But it is cute though, Shawn, when he comes back and starts petting the cat.
Himself.
Yeah, and Giles said something about not messing with the cats. Yeah, so he's got some abilities too. We're gonna find out.
We got Big Bad interviewing scientists, dude. These guys hate each other.
Yeah.
Which brings us to our human Fishman sex scene.
And
then we get our scientist gets visited by his bosses, the Russians. They think he killed Fishman already.
Yeah, I wrote in my notes, Shawn, how does this work?
Well, she kind of lets Zelda know later.
And then we get an explanation. We get a visual of how it works. I love that. I think that Guillermo and I are one and the same. We're thinking the same. We want to solve these problems. He says, by the way, don't play with the kitties. I had that in my notes. That's what he says when he comes back. He handles that very, very calmly. But yeah, so we are in the throes of love right now, Shawn. Underwater Love from Faith No More, which is already on
there from our last episode. Yep. But back home, there is no love with our Big Bad and his wife and kids. He's absolutely miserable in his banged up car, his rotting off finger.
Oh, so gross. They smell, right? So gross.
Which brings us to another human Fishman sex scene.
Yeah.
2 wallop to wallop, back to back.
Hey.
Plus the neighbor's hair begins growing back and his wound is healed. And the building people are pissed because the building is flooded because Eliza and Fishman have flooded the bathroom to get it on. And the neighbor walks in on them doing it.
Yeah. Listen, it's a fairy tale.
What is going on in this world?
It is a fairy tale, but I have to call it out because I would call this out in any other movie, and particularly if it was a movie that you picked out. I mean, I guess we're having to do an angle here with this baloney, but there's no way you could fill a bathroom.
Well, she put the towel under the door.
Yeah. There's absolutely no way. But what a very cool visual and what a cool idea. And it's a dirty and disgusting bathroom already, Shawn. It's pretty gross, and now you got this stinky. Shawn, this guy's got to smell though. He's got to stink
like a fish, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's got to be a lot, but he's in great shape.
He's got a 6-pack. He's built like Brad Pitt in Fight Club.
He's got more than a 6-pack. I think it's a
fish pack.
Yeah, I saw what you did there. Shawn's got jokes. What is it? I'm going to count it off, Shawn. When I want to see
you go look at a ripped fish's stomach and count the abs while I
think it's more like a 10. Wait, what?
Our neighbor loves Fishman. He says even if Fishman was worshipped like a god, maybe he is a god. He ate a cat, but he wants to keep Fishman around.
Yeah.
Russians tell the scientists they want the dead fish corpse in 2 days. It's also raining and getting close to this date that Eliza has set to release Fishman like Free Willy into the wild. General Hoyt is in Big Bad's office. He's pissed off. Big Bad is begging to keep his job. General Hoyt don't give a shit. He's about to shut down the whole operation and Big Bad's job and future. Time has come to release Fishman. They have one last meal. She's trying to let him know how much he means to her. She begins speaking. This is a very touching moment. The words of this song that have been playing for most of the movie, whatever this song is, I'm going to put it on the InMad Spotify playlist.
That's right.
She goes from whispering to singing, and the whole movie breaks into this old school song and dance routine for a second. She's singing and dancing with Fishman.
Yeah, I'll forgive it because it adds to the fantastical nature of it. But
it's
I'm
very
not gonna
brief.
lie.
Yeah.
The first time I saw it, and I was like, "We're headed into a singing scene." Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Back in reality, she's singing to herself while Fishman is just sitting there dicking around with his little eggs, touching them and eating them.
Mm-hmm.
Something is wrong with Fishman. Eliza brings Zelda over to check on him. Zelda calls the scientist who leaves just before the phone rings. Big Bad is watching scientist dude. Big Bad fingers stink and they're rotting off. He's following scientist dude to this drop-off point where he meets the Russians, but the Russians shoot him right before they kill him. Our Big Bad Strickland comes out and kills the Russians. The scientist is shot through the cheek, and our Big Bad asks why he was speaking Russian. He puts his finger through the bullet hole in his cheek like a fish hook and starts dragging the scientist dude.
Pretty gnarly. Listen, like a fish hook for a reason.
Oh yeah,
right? Absolutely for a reason. See, Shawn,
son of a bitch.
Yeah,
good. He's good.
It all matters. It all wraps.
He's good.
It all wraps up, and also Strickland, Shawn. We already know he's rotten on the inside, and now he's rotting on the outside. Right? He's physically rotting, and he's already rotten on the inside, and he is determined to solve this because he has to solve it. There are points in this movie where he's talking to himself about being able to do it, and I got this. And Shawn has shot through this movie like he was fired out of an underwater cannon.
I just didn't pause,
and got us to about like 20 minutes left in the film. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Strickland from Strickland Propane is also a bit of a trash bag. So I guess
there you go.
Maybe Guillermo's a King of the Hill fan.
Oh, maybe.
I'm sure he is. We got a lot in common. I feel like he'd be. Big Bad wants to know all the info about who took Fishman. He talks about the candy he's been eating this whole movie. He loved it as a kid. When he's stressed, he bites right into it, but usually he takes his time eating it the same way he's going to take his time torturing this scientist. Scientist laughs and says the people who took Fishman weren't professionals. They just clean. Big Bad bites right. You can hear the crunch of the candy. He has been fooled. He goes right to Zelda's house. He wants Fishman. He threatens her. He rips off his rotting fingers right there in front of her to show how much he is not fucking around. Zelda's husband gives her up immediately and says she has been talking to Eliza on the phone, to which my first question was, how do you talk to Eliza on the phone? Till it then cuts to her talking to Eliza, and she's like, do this once for yes and twice for no. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, I guess that's a way that you could talk on the phone to Eliza. Yeah.
And we meet the terribly lazy and annoying Brewster. Total wimp, I wrote in my book. Like, he gets pushed back into his seat in his own house and just sits down and then rats her out right away as soon as he can. I don't think after this film ends, I would think that they're not together anymore.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, like I think she moves on and maybe her and Giles become friends and kind of have that relationship built off of Eliza a little bit. But I think that's sort of her moment to be like, because she's talking about him in the movie and it's sort of in a loving way, but it's sort of also like he's kind of annoying with this and that. And then this is where she's just like, really?
Enough.
And listen, Shawn, we got water all throughout this movie. Now we got pouring rain. We got that everywhere. Right, big themes going on left and right with that, and he tells a story here and rips his own fingers off. Absolutely disgusting.
That was cool.
Yeah, so gross.
Now he's on the hunt for Eliza. Zelda calls her to warn her and let the neighbor know that Big Bad Strickland is coming. Much like the body in the tub in Buffalo Bill's basement, Big Bad sees this tub full of green-ass liquid and knows that this is where Fishman has been hanging out.
Yeah.
Finds Eliza's note about releasing Fishman at the docks.
Mm-hmm.
Neighbor and Fishman are saying goodbye. Fishman doesn't want to leave Eliza. Up walks Big Bad Strickland, punches the neighbor, pumps 2 shots in Fishman, a third in Eliza. They fall to the floor dead. What the fuck just happened in this movie in the last 10 minutes?
Now, Shawn, we know that he has some healing abilities already. So when you first see this movie, it's jarring, but we've introduced that earlier on, right? His ability to heal. So much like his ability to heal people was introduced by Grogu in the Mandalorian series by touching Apollo. Well, I was going to say Apollo Creed, but who was the actor who played Apollo? That played Apollo Creed. Who passed away?
Now, yeah, Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers, rest in peace, Carl Weathers. He gets healed in the Mandalorian Grogu by Grogu, and he puts his hand over this wound that he has. So we kind of get this here as well. This happened before that, obviously. So I don't know, there's no way they can end the movie like this, Shawn, right? Just laying there, the two lovers.
Walks up and goes pump, 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 and they drop. And I'm like, what? Yeah. Neighbor gets up and knocks out Big Bad, runs over, and Eliza and Fishman are dead until Fishman illuminates, wakes up, heals his bullet wounds, faces off with the Big Bad, who goes, fuck, you are a god. And Fishman, using his fish claws, he's like one of these things in Underwater, one of those things that were the thing with the spiky hands, and slices Big Bad's throat.
Yeah, and that illumination thing is very cool. Like, very cool.
It is. It's like a black light, but like it goes through his veins and it glows blue. It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Fishman grabs Eliza, jumps in the water. Her lifeless body is floating in the water. Fishman gives her a kiss while he's glowing, and we see this glow shine through her now as well. And she's alive and can, I guess, breathe underwater now.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we hear our narrator from the beginning, who turned out to be the neighbor, her friend, saying, if I could tell you anything, what would I tell you? They lived happily ever after. They remained in love. That might be true. When I think of Eliza, I think of this ancient poem, and we see Eliza and Fishman holding each other underwater, floating. Very romantic.
Mm-hmm.
Says, unable to perceive the shape of you, I find you all around me. Your presence fills my eyes with love. It humbles my heart, for you are everywhere. The Shape of Water, the end. Good movie. Good movie. Good movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
I liked it. Shawn, I liked it. I'm not going to put it in The Thing and Halloween.
Will you watch it again?
I mean, if we cover it again, I don't know.
Well, why would we cover it again?
Yeah,
the answer is no.
Probably not. Probably not. But I'm glad that I did watch it in full this one time.
So, theory online that Eliza is part fish creature, just like Fishman. She's got the scratches on her neck, which could be where there were gills. They found her. She's unable to communicate, much like him. So that's one of the fan theories that's online about that. Now, the other one would be, when you look at it more straightforward, I don't know why they'd have the scratches on her neck. And then that's how he gets Strickland. But I mean, if he's able to heal, is he able to also change her complete body makeup? So maybe there is a recessive gene in there that allows him to do that. And maybe she sort of was that, because we don't know a lot about that. And that would kind of explain her attraction to him as well, because as sleek as he is, and his 17 pack that he has, Shawn, as generally in my lifetime anyway, generally, most women are not attracted to
fish men.
Yeah.
How do you know?
I mean, I don't know. I just think that's a possibility.
Weird movie, Vertebrae. Weird movie. That's all I'm saying. Weird movie.
Academy Award winning film.
I know.
Let's just think about that for a second, right? That he's able to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think, Shawn? You think she was part fish, part of amphibian?
I mean, no, I like it cooler with her just being a regular ass human and this happening instead of like her having to have some mystical. I mean, she does have a backstory, but I don't think it needs to go as deep as that. I feel like the more on the ground it is and the more human it is, the cooler it is for the story. Because if he's a fish and she's a fish, then it's like, eh. But if, I don't know, I feel like it's better if they're different.
What about this, Shawn? What about a sequel? Shape of Water 2. They pop all hell breaks loose.
Oh, God.
They pop out of the water. They get Giles and Zelda. They get the van together, and now they're out solving crimes together.
I thought they were gonna have fucking fish baby.
They got little fish.
Bride
then
of
they have
Chucky,
little fish babies.
Yeah.
And then in part 3, the fish babies are running around, right? And you got you
Vertebrae loves The Shape of Water. He's like,
no, I'm carving out a film that you would like better than this. Then we get to part 4, Shawn.
Oh my God.
And then they have to go to this famous death fighting tournament and fight their way out, and the winner gets pizza. See what I'm doing there, Shawn?
Vertebrae has really put a lot of thought into these Shape of Water sequels. So that ends our
Quest
underwater.
They call it Shape of Water 4 Quest for Pizza.
Quest for Pizza. This ends our underwater. I mean, are we always going to theme our movies after each other? Like if I do a clown movie, you're going to do a clown movie? Yeah, okay. It was just a coincidence.
No, but like there's a little part of me that wants to pick a romance film every single time.
No, come on.
But I won't, because I don't really even know them that much.
No, good. No. Pick movies that are.
My problem is, Shawn, a couple of the movies that are on my high list of movies that I really want to do with this podcast
3 hours.
are long movies. Right? So when you go into it and you think about, there's some Christopher Nolan films I'd like to do, right? There's definitely Blade Runner 2049. We can get into the Dune movies. These are not easy movies to cover. So you'll have to be snappy when you get through those, Shawn.
Oh, Lord. Looking forward to it. We got through this. I feel like this went very well. I did like the movie. I didn't poo-poo on it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you cannot take away the craftsmanship in this film, the beautiful cinematography, the score, everything about it. Maybe you're not as crazy about, a love story or whimsical fantasy love story, but there's no way to take away from. I don't know, Shawn. It's funny. Are we done with Underwater? On HBO Max, like when I was done watching this, the next movie sort of pops up and you can watch it now, and it's The Lore. Did you ever see this movie?
No.
You want to read I'm going to read you the description.
Yeah, please.
2 mermaid sisters become caught in a love triangle when they fall for the same man.
Okay.
And there's like a creepy looking girl laying in a tub as the promotion for this. So
are you going to watch it? Are we going to cover this on a 0.5, not 0.5?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I'm saying, look at that. Maybe there's a whole thing. Listen, I recently got into lighthouse horror along with the Arctic horror. I realized I needed to have winter horror I liked and spring and summer horror I liked. So I'm starting, right? Because fall horror is already covered. So maybe this aquatic horror, maybe that fills something for us. But you want to give everyone the poll for the next week that they can
again. Well, thank you for joining us for Shape of Water. If whimsical fantasy love story movies is your bag and you love this movie, let us know on the socials. Tag at FNLiquid. Whoops, I'm giving away the wrong socials. Tag at InMadnessPod. InMadnessPod@gmail.com if you want to send us an email or a voice note. We have an email and a voice note in the mail sack.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
Very
we'll get one of those next week. But yeah, anything about Shape of Water, Guillermo del Toro, anything you would like to discuss with us on the socials, which is exactly what you will be using to vote on the next voting poll.
Vote early and often.
Yeah. And you can vote one time on it, like each poll. Like you can leave a comment on Facebook, leave a comment on Twitter, and leave a comment on Instagram. I will count it.
But vote if you're going to listen. Vote if you're going to care about what we're doing. You don't have to vote if you just want to
vote, hit a button on a poll.
Yeah, I want you to care. I want you to be involved. I want you to be excited for the episode. I can tell you which one I want it to be because I have a lot of materials prepared for it, which tells me it's not going to be that one. But anyway, it is what it is. Shawn, I didn't tell you this, but I I'll sometimes re-listen to our episodes. And I caught the end of our other episode that you had a little stinger at the end of the episode that surprised me.
Yeah, I'm going to use that a lot more from now on, especially
now I've got a baloney meter and an icky meter.
Icky meter, baloney meter, and wacha.
Well, no, it's not a meter. It's just how many times you're going to call baloney on something. Yeah, I call baloney on that.
The voting poll, the next movies you're going to be picking, it's a John Carpenter theme, In the Mouth of Madness, The Fog, and Assault on Precinct 13. I've seen The Fog before. I've seen In the Mouth of Madness before. I have not seen Assault on Precinct 13. If that wins, I will be damned. I'd be shocked as hell. But yes, it's up to you. We're letting you pick what movie we are going to cover next. We won't be doing that for our next episode, but we will try to do it for our episode after, depending on how you vote. So if you're listening to this and you haven't voted yet, get your ass over there now and do it. Is that it? Did you get all your bits in for The Shape of Water? I'm going to go wring out my shirt and go eat some eggs.
I think one more thing, Shawn, I wanted to tell you before we left, just to get out of here because it's a little while till we have the next episode. But our two buddies on the podcast, both John Langan and Stephen Graham Jones, won Bram Stoker Awards. So we now have, and I think they had won awards before, but current Bram Stoker Award winners have been on our podcast. We have to get them both back on to talk about this. Our buddy Paul Tremblay's got a new book coming out at the end of the month, and I sent you a message on Instagram. He's going to be traveling around to do that book, and he is going to be in New York City on July 2nd. So, and he is going to have a guest with him, and the guest will be John Langan.
Sick.
So them together at a bookstore in Manhattan.
Let's go get a sandwich.
So very interesting times in Madness.
See if we get Vertebrae out. Yeah, hanging with the homies.
Yeah, there you go.
And with that, we will see you next week for episode 168. Thank you for joining us underwater, above water, for The Shape of Water for In Madness Pod.
Good job.